Thank you. Okay, hello. Welcome to the Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024 Pro meeting. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually organized, but it's probably not going to go smoothly, but I'm going to try. All right, I need to find my agenda. That would be helpful. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we need the approval of the minutes from September. So I make a motion to approve minutes for September Pro meeting of 2024. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any against? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-0. All right. Now we need, is there any public comment? We don't have anyone from the public. Old business. Dawn is not with us either. Okay, we might be like cruising through tonight, guys. All right, so Dawn is not with us. All I know about the Meadow update is they were supposed to come out. Bob, did you hear from Dawn if anyone did come out to the park?
I have not.
Okay, yeah, I haven't either, so I'm assuming no one did. So we'll have to just come back to that one. Okay.
Oh,
Next.
Dawn's away for a couple days.
Oh, okay. All right. Next is a sign language sign. I have to figure out how to share a screen and then I can do that. Let me see here. More. Whoa, this is okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the sign language signs. Bob, if you wanna take over.
So I asked Kyle to give me a hand with this and gave her some ideas, and this is what she's coming up with so far. Now, they all look good. So which ones do we pick? I really like this one that you have up now. No, the one
Yeah, I like
before.
that one the best too. That one or this one?
Um,
This one's
Okay.
harder to, that second one was a little bit harder to read.
This guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I like this one the best.
Okay.
My suggestion is we change the color of some of the people. So we make this
Diversity.
diversity, good word. Now, I can get the blanks come in 3 foot by 3 foot, 4 foot by 4 foot. So we have an option. We can do similar to, exactly what this is here. And we can just do 1 4-footer. And I'll explain where I'd like to put it and where it sounds like it's a majority of the township likes where I want to do it. Or we could do 2 signs at 3 foot by 3 foot. Now the location will be over by the mini library on the top lot. So we'll put posts in the ground and mount the sign to that. Originally, I had talked about mounting it to that sliding board climbing thing. But it would block the airplane that's up there. So consensus is bring it down. And that's the only other location we could put it without having to worry about kids running around the park and then running into it or something.
Yeah.
And getting hurt. So that's where the location will be, maybe to the left of looking at the mini library, which I saw them the other day. They look awesome, Andrea.
So are you gonna have Jeff make this out of that street sign material so it's durable?
Yes, it's the company that makes all the signs, the one that made the ones for the Meadow.
And then I would recommend, they usually do it anyway, but rounded corners. No
Yeah,
sharp corner.
all that is in a rounded corners, graffiti protection.
And however you mount it, just make sure there's no edges where someone could bonk their head on it or hit their elbow or something. So if you can mount it flat onto that surface that you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not wider than that surface, then that would be the best. You know what I mean? Like it's contained within that surface. Don't make it stick out further than that surface.
Oh, no, because since we'll be putting the posts in, we can We can mount it any way we want.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you were mounting it to the plastic part on the upper part of the playground.
Yeah, that's not gonna fly.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
So that's why I'm saying it'll go near the mini library. And then we'll just put 4x4 posts in the ground. And we'll mount them to that.
Bob, I wonder what the right height would be for something like this.
That I
Right?
haven't looked into yet.
Yeah,
I'm thinking probably 3 feet off the ground on the bottom side of it.
Yeah, I was
Maybe-
thinking like 36 inches.
yeah.
So is this one-sided then?
Yes.
What's on the back? Just metal?
Yeah, it's probably just gonna be blue or whatever color we pick for the background. I think the blue looks great because it brings in a little more of the blue that's on the actual apparatuses.
Well, you have to
Mm.
pay if you want the backside painted because street signs are usually just silver, bare aluminum on the back.
It could be. I haven't asked that question, but I can.
No, I was just trying to think if there's somewhere else we can mount it, like on the bathroom walls, brick or something, or I don't know.
And what's the cost of it, Bob?
Generally, it's I think it was $200 for a 4x4, and it was $175 for a 3x3.
I think 3x3 would be the best option. 4x4 is ginormous.
Yeah, I was thinking even smaller than that, but whatever. But that's not the ratio we see there is not a square, so I think it
Right.
would be something. Maybe
That's-
you ask them, Bob, what a standard size is, and then you could fit it to whatever their standard sign size is.
Yeah,
That is
center-
36 by 24.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Can you do that, Bob? Can you get it to 24 or does it have to be square?
well, if you're gonna go 24, you're gonna have to make it lower, right? Than the 36 inches.
Why?
Why?
Well, no, you don't have to make it lower. It just isn't gonna go as high. I'm not sure what it's gonna look like in 24 by 36,
That's
actually.
what you're looking at. That's what she's saying. This is a 36 by 24 ratio right now.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, that works.
Like if you're saying 36 by 36, it would be a square, but we're not looking at a square.
Right,
Yeah.
so if they have a standard blank, they give me prices for standard blank size. So if they have a standard blank that's 36 by 24, I'll
That's
find
it.
that out tomorrow.
I think that's a good one. See what the budget is, and then we have to get it approved if everyone likes it.
I can get that approved.
I would say if you're gonna pay to paint the backside, you should have something on it, like a township logo or
Oh, that'd be cute.
welcome to the park, or even more signing. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna ask the option of putting more sign on the back of it. I did think about that earlier in the week. Versus putting up 2 signs. Because there's so many things we can do. There's so many things we can add in, like mom, dad, thank you, love you, whatever, or love is in this one. So I'm gonna ask about the option of, doing the back as well in a sign.
The outer 3 inches would be covered, but the middle would still be shown.
Right. We can always smush it in a little bit and just have, the border around it so it doesn't.
You would just do this exact setup, Bob, except nothing in the blue, just fill in the white with symbols or people or whatever. I don't
Well,
know.
that's what Kyle was working with me with. She's coming up with, designs, and I come up with some ideas, and she put her ideas in. And this is what
Well-
we've come up with so far, but it's not a complete project yet.
You could do the sign language on one side and then do the words and stuff on the other side. If you want to do it that way.
That's a good option because then that way we can get more pictures and words.
Yeah, I mean, if you just take the inside of this and then, Mary, go up to 1 or 2.
This one?
Yeah, do something like that.
Do that on one side and then the alphabet on the other side.
And then the alphabet
Correct.
on the other side. I like that idea.
On
Yeah.
the back, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So do you, Bob and Kyle, want to keep working on that?
Yeah.
And send it our way when you when you got it.
Okay,
Yippers.
now question, do you like all people or do you want the black and white? Like I kind of just did this to change it up, so it,
I like the mixture, Kyle, because some of the signs are hard to see without a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with Paul. I like this style here.
Okay.
Okay. No, so I'm gonna stop sharing, I think. Well, depending. Yes, I am.
Well, oh, I was gonna say, you could have gone right on to the farmland sign.
Oh, that's true too. I was following the order, otherwise I would get confused.
Okay.
All right, so next is the You Are Here map. Location of the maps are fine. They're down. There's the two You Are Here's, actually like You Are Here down at the kiosk that the Boy Scout did down by Franklin at the lower lot. And then there's a You Are Here map up in the comfort station. What I wanted to see is if you guys thought printing it on a hard surface and like literally having it like somewhere in the park.
Yeah, I think that was Andrea's idea, is we put one at the Y, which
Yeah,
is
that's what
the
I was
new
hoping for. Yeah.
pavilion. And I like the hard surface, no kiosk, just printed on whatever durable material it is. I don't know what it's called. And
Probably just fiberglass, isn't it?
I don't know.
Like that's a for poly, material on a post or.
Yeah, I like it leaning, like you had kind of shown. I have
Yeah. I probably have the foot. Let me see if I can pull one up real quick. I'm certain I have.
I took some pictures in
I think I have some of yours.
New Garden this Saturday. So I just sent a text, but since I'm in my house, it probably won't go through. But anyway, New Garden has a nice kiosk, and they have hard things, except they didn't have a map on the hard things. They had some wording and stuff. But I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
It's not going to show.
Did I get it?
We did just get your.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Paul.
Can you share it with everyone? 'Cause,
Yes.
I can't get the non-iPhone people. My Wi-Fi takes the signal, but the cell towers don't.
I have it and I'm not an iPhone.
Oh, well, then you guys are awesome.
Yeah, no, I like that idea. I like the tilt like that. I think that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And do you see the kiosk too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the board wants to know what I want to build, and it's very similar to what I've already built. So I was just going to show
Okay,
them.
perfect.
I just emailed it to myself. Let me see if it get it to pop up on my computer and then I'll share it with you guys. Here we go.
Paul, do you need help finishing that?
Oh, when I need to erect it, yeah. I mean,
I
gotta
can
dig
give
some
you,
holes.
I
But
can give you a hand with it, whatever you want to do.
yeah, thanks.
Okay, here, Mary, let me share real quick. Or whoever, Jeff, would you mind allowing sharing for
It's
me?
me.
Or Mary?
Yeah, I gotta do it. Multiple admission.
So we have no Jeff and no Dave on the phone?
Correct. I'm winging it, guys. Winging
You're
it.
doing great.
We're like gypsies in the palace, man.
I know, right? All right, share screen. That's not what I want. Can anyone tell me how to do this? Does anyone know?
I don't know how. Everyone seems to. Andrea, you know how to let people share, don't you?
Because I didn't create, I can't open that because I think you just hit share screen or because I'm not running the meeting, I can't see what that option was.
I know, but I thought in the past you might have.
I had.
Anyway, all right, here, I'm gonna make you co-host, Andrea. That would
Okay.
be helpful. Then one of us might be able to figure it out.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Now I can share.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what Paul just sent. Can you see that? Everyone see
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
So it's embedded in the email, so I can't pop it out. But But I mean, this is exactly what I was thinking. I don't know that it needs to necessarily have any sort of border around it. I think it can just be the sign itself.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Theirs is meant to be changed. It's covered so you can change what's written in there.
Yes.
But I like what you're saying. It's just no border, hard plastic, map permanently printed.
Yeah. No, I
Mhm.
think that's perfect. I love that.
And how do we seal that?
So I think that the sign itself is some sort of like wrapped material. I've seen them before, and I don't know that I have.
Bob, it's printed on the substrate, and then they put the plastic over top of it, and it's all solid. Like just think about in the bar where they pour liquid over the pennies on the bar table.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
like
it's like.
resin. Paul, there's
Yeah.
a couple samples that were at the office that I had dropped off like a year or two ago when we were looking at different signs.
Wait, what was that?
Anyway, Bob, it's meant to be outdoors. Like it's UV resistant, weatherproof. It's the best. It's way better than the kiosk stuff, putting laminated paper behind glass. Like
Sorry, you guys are watching me look for this sign, but I'm certain that we had at some point.
yeah,
Darn it.
I've sent many samples of it.
You
There's
have sent
one.
a lot, but I don't think that what I have right here is necessarily what we were talking about. I mean, this sign, Paul sent this, and this was an idea. You can see kind of here, Bob, that this one
Hold on,
has rounded edges, and it's
We don't see it.
you don't
Andrea.
see it.
oh, you can't see it.
We
Darn.
still see your email.
Oh, you do.
Did you share your screen or your window?
Hard to know what I did. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, here.
More a mess.
Here. So this one is, I think this one is kind of what I was thinking in terms of material. You see
Yes.
it looks like it's got some sort of plastic coating on all sides, or not plastic necessarily, but it is sealed. It's like a, I
Yeah,
don't know, shrink wrap.
It's enclosed.
it's enclosed. Yes, good
Yeah.
word. So that Peacedale preserve has something similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
entrance to Peacedale.
So what do? We put posts in the ground and then mount this to a board?
No,
Or
no,
is it strong
it's
enough to be mounted
freestanding.
on its own?
It's freestanding, yeah. And the one that she just showed you where it's like a little tilted stand, I think you buy the whole thing from the sign company. You buy them the sign, they print, and they mount it on a post. We
Oh,
might have to
cool.
put it in the ground.
Cool.
It looks very streamlined and professional. It's not our standard 4x4 stuff that we use.
So what's the size of it?
Any
The
size you want.
size?
Yeah.
The map, what would you do? A 2x3?
36 by 24 is what it's printed at.
Yeah, and I think that's what we had discussed, it being about that size. Let's see, I have another one that we had looked at one point. Let's see if I can get it to.
We're not going to have any like wording on it, right? We're just going to have the map.
Your map.
Okay.
So this is one of the first ones we had looked at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think it needs to be, quite this large. I think we all agree it doesn't need to, kind of be completely vertical like that. So just something a little less imposing, something that kind of, if you're up on it, you can read it, but otherwise it's not in your face. It's not kind of blocking any sort of sight line or,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay.
So,
Paul, do you know who to contact for pricing for that?
Yeah, I do. I have all their information. I'm gonna get a hold of them tomorrow, so I'm gonna see if I can get a 2-for-1.
Wait,
So,
what?
Bob,
Wait, wait, wait.
no, we don't want to print it on the road sign material. We want this plastic slick material
Right.
because it's also something you can do a photograph on, where the road sign people can only do printing. They can't do the photographs.
Oh, okay.
But I did have several vendors and I lost that information. I don't know where it is. It's
Okay.
been too long. So
But I'd be happy to kind of put this on my list, my to-do list.
that's
Okay.
great. Please, yeah.
Thank you. And then, Bob, do we need do we need a smaller map in the lower kiosk? I know that was a question at one point.
No. Well, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
The only reason I mentioned a smaller map was in case we ever wanted to put information in there or, like upcoming projects or things like that. If
Okay.
we ever wanted to post something else in there, that's all. That's the only reason I asked about a
Oh, okay. Okay, I
Well,
think that's fine.
I mean, I
I
like the
think that-
size of the map in there now.
Yeah, I think that map is important. That's the most important information on the board. And
Okay.
maybe we can consolidate the hunting rules into one page or something instead of, I think it's 3 right now with the map and then 2 pages. But I'd rather do something else than shrink the map. Like, I think it's important. And if you shrink it proportionally, you would end up with like a 6-inch sliver of useless space at the bottom and you gain 3 inches on the side. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you'd have to shrink it a lot to gain some space on that side.
Right.
So I like the map. I think it's the whole purpose of the kiosk is the map.
Alrighty. Memorial tree. I talked to Jeff about this and he said that the person will want to pick it out in the spring and probably come help plant it.
Great.
Moving to library backpacks, that would be Dawn again. From what all I know is they have the map that is completed now for Crossan and Franklin, and they have Goodwin and they will have Banffshire. So those are the 4 that they have. Trail days. So, for all of you who don't know, that lovely QR code doesn't work. I tried. But there was one guy who reached out, Paul, the one with the chainsaw, John Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he reached out. So hopefully
Can
we have
you
some volunteers.
like be organized? Because I can't and make like a list of volunteers that you keep on your computer and then you add people. And then
Sure.
when we have an event, you can call them and say, hey, are you going to show up this weekend? We need your chainsaw or,
Okay.
whatever they offer.
All right.
But I think these days need to come to an end because for the season, like the growing season is about over. And so maybe we do one more weekend in October and then frankly, that's probably it. Unless
I was thinking October and then pick it up in like March or
something
April.
like a tree falls in the winter, then we could add volunteers to do it. Right.
Yeah.
But I think that every second, we're not going to do second Saturday in December and January, not
Right.
necessarily. So maybe announce that this is the last one for this season. Thanks for your help. We'll see you in whatever, April. I don't know.
All right.
But unless there's a special project, like I said, because
Right.
the winter can be rough. We do get trees down.
Mm-hmm.
And what
Okay,
are,
so I'll just keep on that. What was that, Bob?
what are we gonna do next? What trails? For the
I imagine Banffshire, right?
No, I would prefer, well, actually, yes. Banffshire Yellow Trail has not been mowed
Okay.
all season. I failed to do any mowing there. And it has a lot of chainsaw work and weed whacking. And I think it's
Okay.
important to have it ready for spring fishing season because that's the most popular fishing trail next to the parking lot. I mean,
Okay.
secondary to the parking lot. And then the King Trail could also use a trim, most likely. I haven't walked it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And Matt said he was going to do something there, but I don't know if he did. If he didn't do
Okay.
it, then I recommend that.
All right. I'm gonna say though for October, maybe we should just stick with Banffshire because it's better known than the Keene Trail. You know what I mean? Just to try to get people to be like, "Oh, come on out to the first one," and they'll be like, "Well, where's
Yeah, you're
that?"
right. Sure.
So-
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the kiosk for Banffshire while we're on this?
Mary mentioned it at the board meeting. The board approved it long ago, but the bridge, dragging the big bridge poles in there. I don't remember if I said this already last month, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I didn't want to put it up because dragging the big poles was very dangerous to damaging it. So, and even when we did move the big bridge poles, as Bob knows, we removed the hunter's board just so we didn't damage it. Because these things weighed a lot, and we didn't want to. It would just plow right through any billboard. Anyway, so now that the big bridge is done, there are still two poles, and we'll need a third one. 3 small poles that need to be moved. They're much smaller. They're not as dangerous to move. But we only have 2 out of the 3. We're waiting for the third one from the pole work on Chesterville Road right now. but I'm just kind of tired of waiting. I think we should put the kiosk up and we'll be careful to move those smaller poles around it. So my message, the board asked me from Mary's comments, Don and Jim had some questions about that. So I'm supposed to go to the October 16th supervisors meeting and say what I just told you, that I want to put the kiosk up. Let's not wait for the polls. And, you know, I paid for the materials, so there's nothing to budget. And then one of them questioned the orientation of where to put it. I would say it's going to be close to where the existing one is, but maybe on the other side of the walkway, because it needs to be oriented north so that when you're looking at the map, you're oriented in the proper direction.
Mhm.
And I think that's important, that we always orient the kiosk and the map north when possible. So there might be some times we can't, but it is preferred. That's any questions on it or anything?
No.
Just when it comes time to move those poles, we have to be careful because the bees are under there.
What do you mean? There's an underground nest?
Yep, the guy I had weed whacking around there a couple of weeks ago, got lit up. And I wondered why he was leaving so early. I said, "Where are you going?" And he goes, "I just got hit by a bunch of bees. I gotta go." And he came back 2 days later.
Do you know where they are?
I didn't go over there because I'm too allergic to them.
Yeah, well, I don't want someone like a resident to get stung, so if we can.
Well, it's
Take
probably
care of
coming to the end of the season for them as well.
Yeah, I bet they have another month, not till a good frost gets them.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think he came back and
Did
shot them.
anyone-
He sprayed them.
What was that, Andrea?
I said, speaking of the Yellow Jackets, did anyone see on the Crossin Park Facebook page, there was somebody that was complaining about them, said they were very bad and it was unsafe at the soccer game.
What
the
was
soccer games last weekend. There's like Yellow Jackets.
Oh,
I'm trying to think. What's the name of that Facebook group?
Yeah, I saw
Friends
it
of-
posted.
the Friends of Crossin Park.
Friends of Crossin, that's right. Oh, she said, the lady says, does anyone know if the Yellow Jacket situation's improved since last weekend? They were awful on Saturday, and I'm concerned about my son's soccer practice later this week. Do we know, are they really terrible over at Crossin right now?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'd be curious. Maybe we'll ask Jeff if anyone else has complained.
Is there a way for you to ask that woman, like specifically where she saw them without?
I can, yeah.
And I suspect two things. One is there's a trash can down there by the parking lot. They may be in the trash can. There might be something sweet in the trash can. And the second one is, like Bob just mentioned, this time of year, there's yellow jackets that nest underground, and that could be anywhere. You know, we
Yeah.
don't. So if she has a location, that would be helpful.
Okay, yeah,
if
I mean,
it's-
I was wondering if there was just, food and stuff on the ground from Fall Fest, or, I mean, I think it got cleaned up very well, but if there, I don't know.
But
We
not
could
down
have-
at the soccer field. You know, that's pretty far from. But
Well, I think that the little rec league plays up like on the, where the Fall Fest took place.
oh yes.
You have to remember also bees this time of year, they don't have as much to eat. They start going absolutely crazy. So they could be a swarm from anywhere.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen again to look at some preserved parkland or farmland signs. All right, maybe. Okay. Here is this. Kyle worked on this with Paul. Here are the options. The wording is, it says this private farm is permanently preserved by the owner in collaboration with Franklin Township and the Chester County Department of Agriculture. Is that correct, Paul?
I had a few suggestions for Kyle, but I'll trust that she.
Well, no, I changed the wording. That one I changed the wording in. Other two I left the wording the same, but I can put your wording in, but I don't know. I don't like through the cooperation of.
Oh, collaborate. Okay, that's what it's, okay.
Let me see the other one. Yeah, so I took my wording from examples of other signs I took pictures of, but you know that whatever we suggest, the board is going to change. So let's just throw out there the one that you like best and let them, change it to what they want. So I was careful to, like, you want to make it clear that it's a private property and that the property is permanently preserved, because some programs are not permanent. So having the
Paul,
word,
you said you'll be at the meeting on the 16th, so you could guide them if they make an error and like taking out any of the important words.
yeah, I won't be there on the next meeting though, which is next week. Is that right? Second?
Third.
Third week, not next week, the following.
No, but I think they have like a
I think they have a workshop.
or something. Do you attend that one, Mary, and report out on that one?
No.
Okay. Well, then I'll be at the one on the third Wednesday.
Okay.
I do have a quick question. I was interrupted by a small child, and so I missed this. Are these all three options that we might be presenting to farmers to pick from? Is that what you said?
No, this is what Kyle put together as some options for us to pick from, and I suggest we push one or two forward with the graphics and wording that you as a group like best. And my comment was, no matter what we put forward, they're going to change it. And I was saying I was careful with the words, and I thought having the word private and permanently preserved right up front was very important.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you
then
for that. Sorry.
I have the best one, my favorite one is the Kennett Land Trust, which I know is now called something else, Southern Chester County Land Trust or something. But they have a sign on a property just south of Kennett Square that I meant to go get a picture of before this meeting and I forgot. So I'd like to get that picture and have it included in the presentation. It's a very
Okay.
modest sign, maybe 1 foot wide and 16 inches, and it's an oval. And a very nice graphic and good wording on it. I don't want to make it a intrusive billboard on their front yard. I want to make it a nice, modest, small sign.
I like this middle one. I like the
I like
coloring on it.
One, I like the colors of it, but I like the colors of the middle one, but I like the layout of the one all the way to the right. I feel like it just feels a little more balanced to me.
Yeah.
And because the background is white, that Franklin Township logo doesn't stand out as much. And I like that because the purpose of the sign is not necessarily to, highlight, our town, the name of our township, but
you can also you can change that to a PNG and it won't have the white background.
Okay. All right. I do like the overall balance of the one all the way to the right personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. But Kyle, can you make one sample in an oval with that?
I made
just like it is?
I made one in an oval.
Oh, okay.
Did you send that to me?
I think I did, and I think it got rejected for some reason.
Oh, that.
I would love to see, Kyle, I do really love the one all the way to the left, and I feel like that one's kind of a little bit more delicate, the font and the imagery. And so I wonder if you made the one all the way to the left into an oval, and then if we could change so the Franklin Township back, the rectangle wasn't white. I think that could look be a really lovely option as well. I'm giving you a lot of work. You don't have to do this. It's just
there's and we don't have to have the township logo there. That I just thought they would like that, and we could make it a little smaller if that's necessary to fit in the shape you want.
Well, these are 18 by 18, the same as the meadow signs and the bluebird signs.
Right.
Are we asking the township to pay for this?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Then it might be beneficial to keep the logo.
So I guess the other question. Hey, this is Dave. I just joined. Thanks. So
Dave.
I'm behind on the conversation, but
And that about wraps up our meeting for the evening.
that's right. So my only thought on the emblem, I agree. I think ours should be on there, but we're also calling out Chester County as well. So like, for example, we pay for the sign, so our emblem gets on there, but And some of the farms, Chester County paid the vast majority of the money. In most cases, they paid most of the money when we've worked together. So we may want to include their logo as well somehow. I know it complicates things a little bit, and we probably want to talk to their representatives and say, hey, we're thinking of doing this. Let's put our logo on there. Like, so for example, on the one, I think I'm hearing everybody's comments, and I think I generally agree, but let's just, for it as an example, the one all the way on the right, you would have, Franklin Township's logo on the left and Chester County's logo on the right to show that this is a partnership.
Yeah. So I like that idea, Dave, but 2 comments. They might not balance because the logos are much different, but that's fine. And then the other comment is you have to get specific permission to print their logo. So we would have to go through a little more effort to do that, which might be okay.
I'll
Well,
contact
or
the-
they could just say, we don't really care if we put our logo on the
Right,
development.
and that's what I was going to say when they helped us buy Bamshire.
Yeah.
They said we had to put specific wording on the Bamshire sign. So that brown sign across from Bob's house has specific wording required by contract, and the logo wasn't part of it. They named, like, each commissioner had to be named, and you know what I mean. Like, it was funny. So we're not required to have a sign on any of our ag easements. It's not a requirement. So it's really up to us. But yeah, I don't mind the logo, and it's a good idea.
I was just throwing it out because we're naming them as a partner here.
Yeah. Well, I thought we should give credit, and I saw on the other examples, I have maybe 20 examples of other land trusts and farm preservation signs that I share with Kyle, that it's common to give credit. And then one more comment is we didn't always use Chester County Ag, and sometimes we use Chester County Ag plus Natural Lands Trust or Brandywine Conservancy. So we might have to put a second name in there as well. So cooperation of Franklin Township, Natural Lands Trust, and Chester County in some cases.
So should we not have a logo for any of them?
No, I'm just saying that some signs might be a little different. That's all I'm saying. And I
Yeah,
think
so-
it's fine.
But to Mary's point, it might be cleaner to just have one sign and change the text rather than different signs with different logos.
Right. Yeah, and I knew that there's different signs, and this was just mainly just to represent the most common sign because they're the biggest preserver.
And I actually don't know if I love having the logo on there. I mean, whatever, it's just personal preference. But when I look at the signs, like, they look much cleaner, I think, if you just took the logo off and just had the preserved farmland and then like a picture of the tree. I like the picture of the tree or the corn. And then just the text of like, hey, this was done through partnerships. And then we can adjust the text and we don't have to worry about adjusting any logos.
Okay.
But hey, I'll defer to what you guys want to do. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, if the township isn't hung up on the logo, I think it would make a much nicer, a more aesthetically pleasing sign without any logos.
I agree.
So I'm gonna quote a famous supervisor, say I'm 1 of 5. So this is not a support. I can't. The township doesn't have an opinion right now. David has an opinion, and I think I'm agreeing with Jen too. Like I think it looks nicer, cleaner for sure without the logo.
So I have some. Have I showed you guys the samples before? Can I show
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, over the years we've seen a couple different ones, but
I want to show Dave though. I think he's. I don't know. I'm not allowed to share, so I don't know if Andrea, you can make me or Dave, can you teach us how to allow other
Mary
sharing?
should be able to. If I don't know if I'm the host, but Mary should be able. Well, Royals won, so everybody in our house is happy.
Who'd they beat?
The Baltimore.
Orioles, nice.
No, the Royals beat the Orioles.
Yeah.
So
how does she?
Okay, I'm just gonna make you a co-host.
So you can make him a co-host.
See if you can share now.
Yeah, and then there should be a button that says share content.
It says host disabled participant screen
You gotta
share.
give it, you might have to give it a minute, but
Oh.
yeah, Mary will make you, I'm not a host either.
I can't. It's just me and Andrea.
So when you when you click on
I might have it
on
here.
Paul's,
Okay,
if you,
here we go. I think I've got it. Here we go.
Yeah.
So it says.
I got
screen
it.
share
Yep.
All participants. There you go.
How
There
did
you
you do
go.
it?
So on next where it says share screen, there's that little up arrow. Don't press the share screen button, press that little I don't know, up arrow thing, and it
There you
brings
go.
Nice.
Okay, so Dave, I'll just run through them quick. So this is a big one. I believe it's Maryland, but it's huge. It's like 4 foot by 6 foot or something. 3 foot by 6 foot. I don't
yeah,
know. But the graphic is the big bang. It's only 2 colors, but preserve farmland, big, and then private land, public legacy. I don't know if you can see that, but
yep, I can.
the key there is private land, because we don't want people to think it's a park.
Yep.
And so that's why private land is the first sentence that I put in there. And then this one has Teton Regional Land Trust. This one has some graphics in there, but and a website. That might be interesting to put a website on there, like our township website or something. And then here's another one with a nice logo. See, they all have a little bit of graphic,
Yep.
and so Kyle was using that tree. This farm is preserved, Lehigh County Agricultural Land Preservation Board. It's pretty simple. Preserve farmland. I can't read that, and I don't remember where it was. It says forever green at the bottom. Private land protected forever, Mississippi Valley Conservancy. Oh, I like that. Voluntary conservation easement, but Fairfield Land Preservation. See, I like these small, simple signs. I don't like these big. You can see relative. This is on a post, so it's like whatever, 12 by 18 or something. And this one, 2 foot by 3 foot, maybe.
Yeah. So you like the smaller ones?
Yeah, and like this
So
one. I like
there's the one I
oval.
like. I like that one.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And then these are metal, which I don't want to spend that kind
Those
of
look
money.
like history signs.
Yes. This private farm is permanently preserved. I think that's where I took the wording. By citizens of Montgomery County. And they have a little logo up here, a little gingerbread.
I really like the wording. This private farm is
Permanently
preserved, because
yes,
there were some suggestions about adding like no trespassing or do not, whatever. And I was like, I don't want this to be a no trespassing sign. I want this to be positive. Like, here, look at this nice thing we have. And by saying private property, private land, public, or whatever it was. So I like that.
Then this one is my favorite. It's in Kennett Square. I don't know if you heard me say that. It's Kennett Land Trust, but whatever their old name was, and it's their logo, and the words are around the outside. But you can see the size of it compared to the fence. It's a nice.
Is that why you like that one? You like it because it's small?
Yeah, I like it because it's modest, it's small. It's a appealing graphic with the words.
Yeah.
So this was what I was modeling after, and if we don't like the oval, you want to do square, whatever. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a square like we have it, but it's on a single post. It doesn't block the view. It's not obtrusive, but if you're looking at, oh, that's a pretty farm. Oh, what's that sign say? That's kind of what it is. It's
No, I like it.
I'm going to stop sharing now. And
yeah, I mean, I think I guess my suggestion as you move towards the to the board of supervisors is like come up with like the simple wording and I think it's articulated well in some of those signs. I don't remember off the top of my head where it says, private land.
Can you reshare, Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah, private land permanently preserved.
Yeah. So like something like that, and then have the paragraph about the partnership. And then maybe 3 options, right? 1, 2, and 3 of what people like. Okay. So you could put something. I mean, I'm not a graphic designer, so I think very simply, but like the one on the right and one on the middle and the right one look like they would be fairly easy to turn into ovals and make it into the sign that you looked at, that I think the little sign on the wooden post, you know?
Yeah, and I would like to present both, a square and an oval, and let you guys decide.
Yeah, like give us the three, like any other proposal, three options, and here's the
Right.
things, and
And Paul,
make
do
it.
do you think the smaller sign might actually benefit? Like people won't think it's as much of a park because the sign is small. So like
Yes.
you really have to make the effort to read what the sign says, so the public won't think it's just like some land they can walk on.
Yes, and I also we need permission to put these on people's front lawns. And I would never, like this one that I showed you, it was not in front of their house. It was at the far end of the property on the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah,
So,
maybe don't phrase it like we need permission to put it on their front lawns, but
yeah,
somewhere
we need
you know,
to put
these-
it on their land.
Yeah, we got to
right?
put it
And
on
so
their
we-
land, and it's going to be unobtrusive, and it's just
Yes, so that to me was very important, that we make it as small and unobtrusive as possible.
Yeah.
Because we only have one property that we have it in the contract that we get to put a sign up, and that's the Holmesy property on Auburn.
Yeah.
The other ones, we didn't think that far ahead.
Well, and different people are motivated differently, right? So you got to have
Yeah.
to be careful with how you phrase stuff.
And it's going to be in private, a conversation, and some people might be excited to show that they're farmers reserve, and some people might be like, hell no,
No, that's right.
fine. That's fine.
And we can, and then it's just, and that's where I kind of like that they're small,
Yeah.
you can
So-
print out. So
And-
how
and I
many
want them
would
to
we
be
need?
Attractive, not,
Yeah.
Okay, one last thought, Dave, is if we have any future projects that we think about adding that paragraph in the contract that says we can put a sign somewhere on the property. And like you said, it wouldn't be in the front yard, but somewhere along the farm.
Yeah, I think that's a conversation that we probably should have. I think, yeah, I'm sure. The one situation that I'm thinking about, it might have been a little touchy, but I think it's a worthwhile conversation to have.
Okay. Anything else? So Kyle, you got maybe another go-do to give some options there on an oval and whatever else Andrea said, and then
Yeah, I sent a picture of the oval one to Mary,
Yeah. Sorry.
but you rejected it because of the farm. You didn't want a farm on it.
oh, I don't reject it because it's an oval. I just didn't like the graphic, I think is what it was, right?
Right. So I didn't even go any further with it.
Yeah,
Did that
so
come up? That's the oval one. So
Yeah, can you, if you go, like, when you look at the three that you presented, I really liked the graphic of the tree and your font choice. Like those are really nice. Easy for me to say, can you just turn those into ovals, and maybe
Yeah, I could.
because
Yeah,
I
I
thought
could.
those were really well done. So
Yeah, I can.
Kyle, do you know how to make it so the white of the background isn't there?
You mean the
Of the-
square?
Oh, yeah. Oh, are we?
Yeah.
We're not putting a. Are we? Or are we not putting a seal? Or did
I
we
think
decide
we're-
on that?
I think we're not
Okay.
for now, because
Okay.
I think, I mean, I haven't, look, I've thought, how long have I been in this meeting? Like, that's about as long as I've thought about it. But I like I think my concern would be every sign would have to be different. Some would have a Franklin Township, some would have a Franklin and a Chester, and some would have a Franklin and Chester and a Natural Lands Trust, and blah, blah, blah. So
Okay.
might as well just keep it simple and just have it in there saying it's like public, private land, publicly preserved, whatever, however it was stated, and then have in partnership with, and then we could just type out what the partnership was. So one question that pops into my mind is how many of these now would we need? If we were going to if everybody said, yes, we want a sign on our property, how many would we have to build or
And-
print out, or
And
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this sign's probably $100, it's not.
I don't know. I'm surprised if it would be even that much, right?
I'm just giving a high spot estimate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be surprised too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 60.
Yeah. So I don't know if do we have like can we get an estimate somewhere so we can say, hey, this is how much it's going to cost, or no?
Yeah, and for this, I would just go to Jeff's favorite sign company there. I don't remember the name of it, Municipal Sign Incorporated or something.
Okay.
And
Maybe do you have their contact information or
I do.
okay. So I'm assuming we're going to talk about, do you want to bring this up at the 16th Board of Supervisors meeting?
we were presenting it here. This is our second month presenting it, and if there was a consensus tonight, then we would go. But if we said we need to spend one more month tweaking it, then we
Yeah,
would
but-
wait another month.
And there's no rush. There's totally no rush. So
Paul, what are you thinking this would be made out of? What is the material?
The metal, like the aluminum that a road sign is made out of, just to keep it cheap or inexpensive and durable. You know, they're meant to be out in the weather. But some of the ones you saw in the pictures, like the one was metal, like a historical plaque. That's really nice, but I don't think the township would spring for that. Although it might help sell them to, I don't mean sell, I mean it might help convince people to allow them in their front in their property. And then some of them were like a raised font, like the Kennett Square one was that raised lettering where they sandblast around the letters into like a foam board sign material, which is, that was nice.
yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It might be nice to have a big ostentatious. This land is preserved if we have a big, big piece of land we want to advertise, but they're probably very expensive. How much is that? How much was that Banffshire sign? That was the band. Yeah, like that was how much was that? Did that turn out to be?
That wooden one,
Yeah.
I
thought
have no idea.
$700 or $800, something like that.
I was going to say 1,200, Bob. So it's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
Go
for
ahead.
example, hold on one minute, Mary. For example, the sign language signs, like the 2x2 or the 2x3,
mhm.
no, 3x3. That thing was only like $175 for that.
Oh, okay.
The estimate that I got for that. So, a smaller oval sign, I'd say under 100. Well,
The only cost might be an oval is not a standard highway sign. So, that would increase the price. So if it was a rectangle, I think it would be $60. I said 100 because it's an oval. I think they're going to have to charge us extra to cut it.
yeah, it does depend on if they can just pull off a standard size
Blank.
shelf.
Yeah.
A blank, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And then $5 for the post. All right, let's move on.
Wait,
everybody
just
all
real
right?
quick, I just Googled it and there's a company called smartsign.com and about the size you're looking for an oval is $45.
Yeah, what happens then is they upcharge you for multiple colors and
Right, I'm just saying like if you had to have a starting point, this is for a green and white sign.
and then if you have the art, they charge you for a setup fee for a one-time art thing, and they
Under $100 is probably
Yeah.
good.
I'm
Good
just
enough.
let's say $100.
Okay.
I don't think the price is going to be a determining factor on this one.
No, I think it's people willing to just put it on their property, really.
Right.
So
Okay. The picnic table at Banffshire is in need, correct?
No, I just want to make the group aware. I repaired the one there. It'll get another year or two out of it. I just talked to Jeff during the fall festival to please reserve one that he has in the barn. Don't give it away or use it somewhere that we could use it in Banffshire eventually. I don't think we need to go swap it out yet, but I think you could just drop it from the agenda until that one falls apart.
All right. Oh, new business. This one I shouldn't even put on there, but I'm excited about it. Geocaching. Anybody excited about that?
We have geocaching in Franklin and Banffshire.
Do we already?
Yeah, already. Yeah, you can log on. You can find them. Yeah.
how
Yeah,
do you
my
do
kids
it?
got one years ago at Crossin. I mean, it's been a while. They kind of outgrew it, but there was some at Crossin too.
Yeah, they were.
It's Crossin, Franklin, and Banffshire already has geocaching. I don't remember the website, geocaching.com or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, clearly it was a great idea, right?
It
Well,
is.
I know some people have done it. I don't really know how you do it.
You log on to the website and it gives you coordinates, and then you have a treasure hunt, and then when you finally locate the cache, it's some sort of weatherproof box, and you go in there and see what treasures are in there. And the idea is there's a book in there, you sign it that you found it, and you can take a treasure if you leave a treasure. So that's kind of fun for the
cool.
kids, the little ones, like, seeing, oh, a Spider-Man figure, I'm going to leave a keychain or something. Whatever.
Cool. All right. I like
It
it.
definitely changes by age. Like my kids outgrow it, but Dave, your kids are the perfect age for it.
Yes, you should
All
be
right.
doing
So
it.
I'll have to figure it out.
And I mean, I know where several of them are, but when my kids and I did it, we did it down in Fair Hill and White Clay. There's a lot down there.
I haven't done it since you did it with a compass.
Oh, you can do it with a compass. That's kind of fun.
That's harder.
Yeah, that's probably, I'm sure it is. So it's on the agenda, Mary. What were you thinking that the pro would come up with? Add some?
Yeah, that we would add it. Yeah.
You're welcome to. You can add them, and then you have to go find the right website to log them in on.
Yeah.
I'm not really up on it.
I mean, I think that might be kind of fun. Like, I mean, it doesn't really cost anything. It's just,
Yeah. And even like, oh, if there's a final one and it's run by the township, you'd be like, oh, here, have a nice little township keychain, or, you know what I mean? Like something cute.
Yeah. We've got about 100,000 Franklin Township pens, I think, in a box. Throw some pens in there.
Here's a pen.
I got a stack, I think, of business cards. I can put my contact information.
There you go.
That'd be fun. I think that'll be cool.
We got frisbees too, right?
What's that, Bob?
We got frisbees too, right?
Yeah, there you go.
That's a big box. It's usually just like a 6 by 6 Tupperware container or something. So I like the idea, Mary, and I think I would encourage anyone who wants to go put some out there. Just make sure you properly register them so kids can find them.
Yeah, I think that's great.
And the idea is they're partially hidden. They're not right on the trail. They're a little bit off the trail. But if you're right on top of it, you can see it. You're not supposed to have to dig or something.
And people just do this because it's fun. Like they don't have an organization. They just say, "Oh, this is fun. I'm going to put this box in the woods."
Yeah, like I did it with the Cub Scouts. I did it with.
I was going to say, I think my daughter did it with the Girl Scouts, and it's like you get a badge. There's like a geocaching badge.
Right, you're teaching the kid about maps, about GPS, and you're getting them out in the woods.
Yeah.
Was that the last one?
The last thing on the agenda?
Yeah.
No, I got 2 more, but it's going to be real quick, I promise. The next would just be pro info to update like the memorial tree flyer, open space brochure, all of that kind of stuff. So I guess if everyone could just look at what we have, or I guess I'll send out what we have.
Yeah, send it out.
What people have to, because I don't think anyone knows.
All
okay,
right.
I'll send out all this stuff then in an email, and I will see what you guys have to say about if stuff needs to get changed.
Well, the memorial tree flyer and the fact sheet is on the township website.
Okay.
Maybe you can send a link to it.
So is the open space brochure, isn't it?
No, that's what we hand out. So that's only a paper copy. I don't think that's online anywhere.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll send all that stuff out.
So Dave, I think you have some webmaster skills. If you try to find maps of the preserves, it's a little bit difficult to navigate through our township website. Maybe you could take a look at that for us and you try to find maps and then see what it took to navigate and see if you can simplify
Yeah,
it.
I think when we we can make it easier for sure. Like when we set up this, most of the logic in the website and where things are, we didn't do any optimization. It was like Jeff and me. that's who built our website. Right. So if there's problems, like we try, so that we can definitely fix it. Like, so when you go to where I like to have buttons where things like right in the front page, there's those buttons. That would be a nice thing to have, where we just go park maps.
Yeah. The kiosk is on the front page, by the way.
let's go to, you're showing me your
Spreadsheet.
project. You're looking at, I'm looking at a project management spreadsheet right now.
Is that good? Is it good?
I don't know. I was looking at your CapEx budget, so let me run through and see where you're
Screen
at.
one, I'm gonna share screen one. Okay, I think I'm sharing the right one. Now what do you
Nope.
see?
I'm seeing CapEx 2026. You plan out to 2026?
28.
28 5-year plan, I guess.
How do I share the right screen? All right,
I don't know.
I'll try it this way.
Click that share screen button.
I know, but when I select it, I think I'm selecting the right thing. But
There
I'm
you
not.
go.
There it is. Hey, look, it's got the kiosk. That's awesome. That looks good.
Jeff must have, or somebody must have just updated that. We just got that picture a little while ago today.
Yeah, that looks great. That's the Hellbenders team.
Yeah, I was gonna share some other photos at the end of our list today.
I have
That's
it
cool.
as well.
Oh, good.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to find, a map, I would think I go to Parks and Open Space or up here, Parks Recreation.
So click on the Parks Rec and Open Space button. And then it should be
So let's
Franklin
do the
Township.
Bamshire. Where's Bamshire Preserve?
Franklin Township Trail Map.
No, that's not it. I don't even know why that's on there.
You gotta let them feel the pain, Mary. Don't cheat.
Sorry.
Yeah, so there should be like Crossin, Bamshire.
It should be listed here, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm agreeing with you. So try again,
So
Dave.
where
No, try again. This is
Elwood Crossin Park and Memorial Tree Program, drone footage. Why do we have drone footage link in there? Township Preserve. Yeah, I don't see it here at all.
So let's try this button. Park Recreation. So here the deer hunting is number one. I would think the map should be number one. And then Franklin Sportsman's is here. These two.
Yeah, you can take out one of the. Oh, yeah, I think one of those is a link to the actual site, right?
So here's
Yeah.
the Franklin Township Trail map
Yeah.
again. So all right, it's not in there.
Township owned preserves and walking trails. Is that it? There you go. Click on that. There it is.
Yeah.
Bamshire
But-
Preserves. Scroll down. So there's the Bamshire map.
Yeah, I was looking here on the side.
It
I would
is
think.
down. It's down at the bottom. Second up.
Township owned preserves and walking space. Yeah.
But I'm saying I would think on this menu on the side, I would see Bamshire, Crossin, Franklin, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's because it's all
yeah.
in the same. It's all on the same page.
Yeah, and so I didn't think to scroll down. But
Yeah,
then
so they're all on
the
the
other
same page.
the other thing is I want the Peacedale Preserve or I want the Gagan Trail. You know, like this one is specifically the ones we own, but the ones we don't own are not in here. And I thought people don't know which one we own, so let's just put them all here.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So if you can get me, yeah, so we would need a map.
They're all I think they're all in the website somewhere, Dave. I'm just
Okay, I'll work on it. And we'll just, instead of calling it township owned
see
preserves
if
and
you
walking
do-
trails, we might just say
Preserves.
preserves and trails, Franklin Township preserves and trails.
So then if you do this, I do about, then I see, oh, preserves within Franklin Township, and I see Parks and Rec. So if I click Parks and Rec, that's where, oh, we're already at the same spot. Preserves within.
Yeah, it's just, there we go. So Big Elk Creek section, Peacedale Preserve,
Yeah, so they're
Gagan
there.
Trail. So we just got to put them all in the same spot.
Please, yeah. And there's
Yeah.
Keene Trail too. I forgot about that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I said, we kind of put everything
No,
together. It was,
I don't
but
mean
you're
to
right, it's kind of-
criticize it. I'm just saying I get frustrated and I know they're in there. So
Oh, I
feel,
know.
I
I'm the
feel
same.
bad for people who don't know they're in there.
Yep, I get it.
Paul, can you, before you stop sharing, can you go to the pro board list? Like the when you click it, the email,
I'm
it
sorry.
goes to Jeff. Okay, go to
Which
oh
one?
God, I don't know how to get there.
Well,
I
that's
guess
just
committee
at the
thing.
beginning.
Probably.
Where do you want me to
Go to
go?
committees.
Committees.
Where's
Oh,
committee?
up at the top. I'm
Oh,
pointing like
okay.
you can see me.
Okay.
Go to the pro board, Parks Rec, open space.
Yeah, park, rec, and open space. Yeah.
And
Okay.
what were you looking for?
Well, scroll down. Down, down, down. Right there. Okay, if you click on Jeff's name. Oh, is it out of there now?
No,
They-
we took him
updated
off.
the
He's not a
format.
member.
Oh, okay.
His name was
Is there-
there. His name was there like last week.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Um,
I had a conversation because after we were talking about cleaning up some of the website information, and I asked him like, why are you on there as a member? And like, what's the deal here? And he's like, well, I don't need to be. Like, I don't know why we ended up. None of us could remember why he was not listed, but the reason he had an email associated with it is the way the website works. So like, I have an official township email, so wherever my name shows up, it probably has a link to my email. It's just a way that works. So what we might want to do, maybe what you're suggesting, Mary, is to put in an email, contact email
We
somewhere.
have one.
We do have one, and the emails come to me. That said, I think in my entire year being the chair, I got maybe one email. So
Yeah, most people just call the office.
yeah.
Like the most expeditious way of getting information is you just call the office. That phone number is all over the site.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, my 21-year-old will not make a phone call to save his life.
Well, I mean, and there's also emails too.
Yeah. But so I mean,
I'm
you
the
know,
same way, and I'm 50.
email
So.
addresses, as long as the pro email address is there, I mean, I'll get the emails. So, you know, Mary, I don't, you know,
Yeah, if you could just send me the information so I can have access to that.
yeah,
that-
Jeff might have to. I don't.
Yeah, Jeff might.
Jeff might have to. I'll ask Jeff about it.
My question is, do we want to change it? Because right now it just says preserve at Franklin Township. Do we want to do more of like a parks kind of, like, is that a pain in the ass to do?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think we just created it when I was chair. It's not that old.
We created it for the brochures we were handing out.
Yeah.
The open space.
Yeah.
Open
So
space, yeah.
because I think the I guess my thought on it is like pro board membership can change, and it might be easier just to kind of keep things as they
Yeah,
are and
just
have
leave
people
it.
contact the office. It's
Okay.
just one like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
That's-
All right.
anybody, wait, Andrew, you want to show pictures or somebody did?
I do
I
want to show,
have it.
I do want to show pictures, unless Mary has them.
No, you can go ahead. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I'm not begging, but okay. Here we go. Again, they're embedded in the email, so I can't really. Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. So what we have here are photos that Jacob Henning sent us of his bike repair station. It looks so good.
Mhm.
I haven't been down to see it in person, but I think he just did such a lovely job. You can see the roof structure looks very nice. I believe he built it so that it matches, or it, you know, kind of coordinates nicely with the new kiosk.
With
Mhm.
Liam's.
Yep, with Liam's kiosk. And then you can see what it looks like here on the lower left. You can see what it looks like without, you know, it's just straight on. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think it looks really great. I think
Yeah, very nice.
he's trying to find a time between now and Friday to meet with either Jeff or myself, Jeff and I, or somebody over at Crossan, so that we can sign off on the project. And I think he was going to try and make it tonight, but he had a scout meeting, so he was unable to present to the pro board.
Okay. While we're on the Boy Scout train, Bob, do you want to talk about the other? Well, actually, there's not much to talk about, huh? We have 2 other Boy Scouts that have reached out that want to do Eagle Scout projects at the park. So they're looking for ideas.
So the first one is Adam Swift.
And the second one is
I don't know that one yet.
it's Colin Burns.
Well, I haven't contacted him, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
I just got his stuff today.
Yeah, I don't know what his MO is. So, for Adam, I contacted him, asking him what he was looking to do as a project. What are his plans, things like that. And he came back with, I really don't have any. Basically, I was looking for the township to give me guidance on what I can do.
So I have an idea.
Okay,
When Liam was doing trail markers over at Franklin Preserve, we said, you know, one of the next projects we would love it if a Boy Scout was interested in doing would be trail markers over in Crossan Park.
Yep.
And so, I mean, then I guess the nice thing is that we do have kind of a, you know, a template in place for what he would have to do. Jeff has the actual trail marker, you know, the arrows and so forth. And so, I mean, I would love to see, you know, one of them dig into that side of the park.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I agree. The only thought is, Matt might be on it, so we need to make sure. I would rather the Boy Scouts do it and get credit.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know if Matt's gonna actually put the signs up. Matt Thompson, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna put the trail markers up. I think we could probably
Yeah, I'd rather the Boy Scout do it.
Yeah,
and save
100%.
Matt for other tasks.
I guess we already have like the posts and stuff. So yeah, I think that's a great idea, Andrea. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep.
Um,
And
the
then
the other
Good.
one,
so he would be tasked with, you know, putting the post in and then putting the markers on.
Yeah.
And then just coordinate with one of us to the
Yeah, but
colors.
just like with Liam, I don't know if it's enough to qualify as a project, so I was going to add in a kiosk at the lower lot. So we always wanted a kiosk at each parking lot to hang a map. But if not, a whole kiosk, Andrea's idea of a laminated plastic mat that just stands out in the weather on a tilted stand.
Kyle,
what
did you
we-
have an idea? Were you going to say something?
well, I know Dawn wants to do the bad houses down in the by the soccer field. So maybe
Okay.
that would be something the Boy Scout could do.
Okay.
That's a cool idea as well.
Yeah, I don't know what, you know, I try to get some information out of him, but I don't know how much detail they have to do, you know.
Right.
So, Bob, what we've seen is it needs to be a significant project. Like one guy came in with 6 birdhouses and his troop rejected him, said he had to do more work than that. So, you know,
Okay,
it's got to be something substantial, and it has to be where he does fundraising and has a team that does the labor, and he has to coordinate that. So
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
I-
we can, you know, maybe what we could do is just have is he on a time crunch? Like, does he need to do something now, or can he wait? Because it might be worth having a conversation at the next board meeting where we have, you know, some different people. I don't know if Matt Thompson will be there, because he's someone who might have some ideas as well. Like maybe he can get help with some of the trail stuff that he's doing. Who knows? Like maybe we can talk about it there and see if there's any other ideas. But
So-
the kiosk is a good one. Like the kiosk, if he wants to do that, the trail markers need to get done.
yeah.
So
that's one project though. I think trail markers and a kiosk is one.
there's
Madhouse is maybe part of another one. And then to be clear, Dave, trail maintenance does not qualify, but trail building would qualify.
that's what I'm saying is there's some trail building that needs to get done in Crossan that
Yeah, like the
That-
switchback.
yeah, I think that's exactly right. So I mean, I don't know how much work that might be, a weekend of work with a bush hog, you know.
They can't use machinery.
Okay, so but I like so that's where I think we might want to think. Are there any bridges that we need to be made? Places where we don't have a quality bridge. I'm thinking, so I don't know. Well,
Bridges is actually last on this
wait a minute, let me answer the
agenda.
question, Dave. I did put in there right away when I first contacted him, if he has a time limit of when he
Yeah.
has to have this complete. He never responded, so I have no answer to that.
So
Okay.
just so you know, it's their 18th birthday, Bob, but that's their deadline. They have to have it completed before that.
Okay, well, he didn't even tell me how old he is now. So I don't have.
Okay.
I'll re-ask the question though. And I would suggest that he does come to the Board of Supervisors meeting or join us
No,
our next meeting.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
so
come
Dave, I'd
pro-
like to,
come to pro first, right?
Yeah.
yes,
The
Dave,
pro.
I'd suggest the Boy Scout come here and we vet through his ideas and give him suggestions, not come to you with empty piece of paper.
I agree 100%.
This is a random one I'm going to throw out there, but every time I drive past that park in like
Goddard.
West Grove, Goddard Park, they've got the community garden. I wonder if there would be a place over at Crossan where we could have, where a Boy Scout could build like a little community garden with a fence and some raised beds or something like that. I feel like that could be a cool project at some point.
So
Yeah. Vegetables and things like that.
that's, we'd have to maybe get Dawn's input. I think we have a lot of people with larger yards in our township that don't need a community plot, whereas in the other township, they have some townhouse and apartments that need a community plot.
Yeah, that
Like, I
makes
don't know
sense.
that we have the demand for it, but we might. Some HOAs don't allow it, like Stonegate doesn't allow vegetable gardens, but there's some. It's just,
That's wild.
frankly, they're ugly if they're not well maintained.
Mhm.
I agree.
That's true. Like those victory gardens are always look kind of dumpy for
Yeah,
whatever reason.
but I like the idea, and I'd throw it over the fence to Dawn to see if there's a demand for it.
Okay. All right. Are there any additional? Oh, Bridges and Crossin was another one, but Paul and I talked about that before. Are there any additional topics? Okay. Any public?
Yeah,
Oh, one thing I want to bring up for the team, for the group. So at the next Board of Supervisors meeting, we're going to talk about the pro ordinance. So I think Mary and Paul, I talked to you a little bit about that. So the question arose, I don't remember what we were talking about, but someone asked a question, one of the supervisors asked a question about potentially having people who live in neighboring townships to join the pro. And so the concept here is, like, you think about Crossan Park, there's a lot of people who live adjacent to Crossan Park that aren't in our township. We've got a lot of folks who are active with the pro, maybe not officially on the pro, that don't live in the township. Certainly there are plenty of members on the FSA who don't live in our township. So the way the ordinance is written now, it states in one section, and I don't have it in front of me, but that's okay, that members will be selected from the township. So the conversation is going to be around whether or not we should allow people in adjacent townships. My guess is that we I don't want to speculate on how people feel on the board, but I don't personally see an issue with that. That doesn't mean my mind can't be changed by, like, if the pro has an opinion. So I'm bringing it up not as a warning, but more of just a heads up. If you if you have something to contribute, your own thoughts in the Board of Supervisors meeting, I'm certainly going to open up the discussion to members of the pro to voice your thoughts and concerns if you have any. But just wanted to, if that shows up, I don't know how it's going to be worded in the agenda. So if it ends up that just says pro ordinance, I didn't want people to like freak out that way. We're challenging the ordinance itself. I just want people know why we're having that conversation. So that was my only comment, I think. I guess I have another question. I think, Paul, you're going to come and just remind us about the kiosk for Banffshire.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, so okay, perfect. That's it. That's my two cents.
Well, are we supposed to comment on the ordinance, or does anybody have an opinion of it?
Are you asking me? So whether you're supposed to or not, that's up to you guys. During that conversation, when it comes up, I am going to say, and please, when the board is done, when the board has to deliberate, and then if the pro has anything to add, please, voice your comments. That's how I'm going to say it. And if you have something to say, we'd love to hear it.
Do we want to discuss that now, guys, or do we want to have some time to sit with it and then chat about it, or maybe
Well,
nobody?
this is our last meeting before their meeting.
Yeah,
I have some questions about it. If we can do that.
yeah.
Mary, you're on mute.
Sorry. Go ahead, Bob. What are your questions?
Okay, so how will that work? So say you allow neighboring people to come in and join the pro.
Mm-hmm.
So do they sign up and get on a list?
So to answer your question, I don't know exactly how it would work because we really haven't talked about it. But my guess is it would be very similar to how we do it now, where the Board of Supervisors might solicit members. So, the way the ordinance is written is, the Board of Supervisors solicits interest from the township, and then we get like an application or we get a letter, however they want to introduce themselves, and then we discuss it. And so I think that's probably how it would go. Or if the pro had someone in mind, they could offer that person up. If I don't think my gut says there's probably not a waiting list, right? It's not like there's a waiting list of people to get on the pro now, I don't think. So I don't anticipate like a waiting list to join the pro. I also don't anticipate a huge number of people outside of the township wanting to join. But I think there might be a couple of people, probably people who live next to Crossin, or people who, I'm trying to think if there's any other situation where we have neighboring townships on top of our preserves.
My only problem with this whole thing would be they're not taxpayers. They're not taxpayers on that property, so why should they have any say on it? Right?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I can't argue that, but I would also add, well, there are plenty of people who aren't taxpayers who use our parks, and they don't, and so they might not be taxpayers, but they are our neighbors. So a good example would be, and who I don't even know if he would want to do this, but like Matt is not a Franklin Township resident, right? But he does a tremendous amount of work in the township. I think there's some other folks who do a lot of work in the Healing Garden. They put a lot of sweat equity into the township. Yeah. So I only count, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, Mary, but I would say there's a lot of people who put a lot of sweat equity into our parks and preserves that aren't taxpayers.
I agree with that. I do. But I think definitely that it should be open to the township residents before anyone reaches out, because I would be super annoyed. You know what I mean?
100%. I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you. I think that I would agree with that. I would say, I should have opened up I should have opened up the ordinance before this conversation, but there's how many members are on the Pro 7? Is that how many? What's the number of people are supposed to be?
Seven.
Seven.
All right, let's say 7. I think we're short now. You would solicit, hey, folks, go on the website. Hey, we're looking for pro board members. Please let us know, right? And if we don't get anybody, or the first preference would go to township residents, and if we don't get any township residents, the next preference would be someone outside of the township.
I don't think we're short now. I think it's 6 voting members, and Jeff is a 7th non-voting member.
Oh, I don't.
There's almost on here right now.
Yeah, so the ordinance.
It's 7.
Who's
there's 7.
Is it?
Yeah, the ordinance has nothing about having the township manager.
I just had my camera off, and then Kyle has her camera off.
Yeah, there's 7 of us.
There's 7 of us. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I was wrong.
All right, there we go. Yeah, so Jeff is not a member of the pro. I'm technically really not a member of the pro, right? I'm supposed to just be the bridge to the board. I don't vote, right? You guys vote. I don't vote in your stuff. So, but that would be the conversation is, should we do it? If we do, how should we do it? And I kind of like the idea of, if we need a 7th and we've got somebody who's good, who doesn't happen to be a township resident but is a neighboring township, why not have them on? You know, so, but again, we'll talk about it more on the 16th, but I just didn't want to have you guys blindsided. And
Well,
of course, you know, you can, you know, think about your questions over the next couple of weeks.
does anybody else have a strong opinion of it?
I'm a hard no. Is anyone else a hard no?
I'm good with township residents always go to the top of the list. If there ends up being a list. Right.
I think I would agree with Bob. I don't know. I think I want to sit with it.
Okay.
I guess my only opinion would be is that sometimes we can't get anybody. Like you know, I had talked about leaving at one point. They couldn't get anybody, and then there's been other times where we had 3 people apply for one position. So
Yeah.
I guess I could see how it could go either way, because sometimes nobody wants to do it, and sometimes 3 people want to do it. And we had to make a hard decision one time, and I think Andrea, you offered to do it, but there was other people that you even had to we had to interview you because
Yes.
yeah. So
There was somebody, there was somebody else, and we both came to a meeting, and
I think it was Betsy.
No.
No, it wasn't. It
No.
was that lived in the. No, it wasn't Betsy.
Oh, it was a younger. It was somebody.
It was a younger girl who worked for Matt and Kathy.
But
Goins.
didn't at one point Betsy and somebody else were
Heather.
Heather? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes there's 2 people. Sometimes we can't find anybody for a while. So I guess I could see.
Yeah.
It depends on how hard it is, and if the township person.
Yeah, I think I think one of the things that you guys probably get more people interested because maybe it's seen as more fun than I think Paul when was the last time anyone on the historical board really changed? Right?
Yeah.
I think it's been the same people for a decade. You know,
Yeah.
not a lot of, and my point is not a lot of people they don't want to they'll volunteer for a trail day, but you know, not a lot of people want to get involved.
Yeah, I agree.
You
with
know,
that.
I used to joke when I was running for office, people would say, why don't anyone know why don't people know more about their township government? And my comment was just because we're the weirdos. We're the ones.
Yeah, right.
We're the one. We're abnormal. They're normal. We're spending all of our time doing this stuff. You know.
We're the ones that just make things magically appear, so
exactly
enjoy it.
You know. So.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. Did I cut someone off?
I was just saying we'll move to the next topic if you have nobody else has.
Yeah, I just have one last thing, Dave. Have you heard anything about Fall Fest pictures? I'm waiting because I want to get them up on the website before it's loses momentum.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll talk to I'll send Melissa a text tomorrow and just say, hey,
Okay.
Can I get some of those pictures? We want to put them up on the website.
I think
Yeah. I put some, but there were professional ones or whatever that got done, I think.
We have professional ones? I
Not
don't think so.
professional, but township ones.
No,
Well, there's Melissa was taking pictures, and I think we got some drone pictures, maybe. I don't even know if the drone guy showed up, did he? I don't know.
He
I have
did,
no
yeah.
idea. Okay.
Apparently they did. I thought it was a no-fly zone that day, but
It was
they
a
have drone
no-fly zone. You're right. Yep.
But
So I think
somebody
it was
put
just-
I
drone
thought I
pictures
saw
up.
photos.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
there.
Where are they?
They're on the
On
Facebook page.
probably.
Oh, okay. I'll just ask Melissa to send me them, and then I'll send them to you.
All right, sounds good.
You
I'll
want
do-
to put them up on the Pro or something? Where do you
I'll
want to put
send
them?
you the Facebook page.
Lisa
Oh.
sent you a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Didn't you put them up?
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah, I found
I'll
some.
just send I'll just send Melissa a note and say, hey, can I get some pictures that the Pro can put up on their website?
All right, cool.
Dave, can I just ask you a question that's kind of along the drone front? I know that there's been some drone and Jeff has used it to get some of the trails. Have you noticed the drone that's been flying over our neighborhood? The one it was in our cul-de-sac the other day. What is the policy on drones?
No, I didn't notice that.
I didn't know if it was an agriculture thing, but it's been in the evening. Sometimes I didn't know if anybody else had noticed it.
I had noticed it. I don't know what the rules are. I think if it's over your private property,
Yeah, it was in our cul-de-sac, and then it was up actually by the post office a couple weeks ago. We had noticed it.
Isn't
think
Chester
it's,
County flying around now versus doing the airplane? Aren't they doing drones?
And that's what I didn't know if it was for agriculture purposes or mapping.
I don't know. I can ask. So I don't know if they even have to apply for a permit. So
At
you
a
know,
certain size and height, you don't, but
yeah. So I don't know. I'll ask Jeff if he knows anything about drone activity in the township.
Yeah,
Official
I didn't know
drone
if it was something,
activity.
it was a courtesy that they told the township or whatever.
I don't know. That's not. I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Are
So
we allowed to fly it and cross it?
um, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think we have a rule for it or against it.
Yeah, I think it's whatever. I don't think we do have a
And I,
rule.
and, and I think we should leave it that way until it becomes a nuisance, and then we'll deal with it.
Yeah, I would agree with
Let
that.
people fly them if they want to fly them.
Good. I'm going.
So let me just make a couple of notes here that so the first thing is pictures. So I'll text Melissa for Fall Fest pictures that we can put up on the Pro Facebook page.
It's the
Yeah.
park, so yeah,
Oh, the park Facebook page.
yeah.
Okay. Fall Fest pics for park page, park Facebook. And then the other one is what's going on with these, what's up with the drones?
Just hit it with a rock, Jen, and then you'll
That's
find out
right.
who owns it.
Well, you know
I
what?
mean,
I
it's
think
just-
if it's on your
it's
property,
curious.
you can
We
shoot
had-
it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just thought it was weird that it was so close to the post office. And then I also
is
think
weird.
Dave, my family's the only people out after 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
So
it's-
nobody else notices it.
Oh, you
It's-
are absolutely right about that. I'm already looking at my watch thinking, oh, bedtime's coming. I don't know.
It was out at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it was over the post office when I was coming home from something, and then we just noticed it I want to say maybe like a week and a half ago in the cul-de-sac where Dave and I share the cul-de-sacs.
Wow.
Aliens.
Well, that's what
Alien.
we were teasing my daughter and saying that, but it was clearly.
So
Wow. It's
I-
probably some kid, you know.
I do have one, we can discuss it next month, Mary, is I would like to resurface the issue of getting a porta potty for the winter because Jeff's going to close the bathrooms in about 2 weeks for the
Okay.
winter. And so I know that was rejected 2 years ago, but I think it's time to revisit it. They're back at Nickel Park. They have porta potties.
Yeah, and the one in Nickel Park, I've never seen vandalized. I've never seen anything wrong. And
They did
I
have a
know-
problem with it, but they took them away and moved them, and now it's
The
not
front
so
of the
bad. But that's more like a rest stop on 896, because they're right there on 896. Ours are hidden off of Parsons Road, which isn't a very active road. I don't think it would be a problem. And we don't have problems in the bathroom right now, but let's not
So-
revisit the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm skeptical. I'll reserve my comments once you guys come up with your proposal, but
No, and I think Jeff had looked into having the bathrooms winterized, and it was just cost prohibitive. So I think
Correct.
the initial reservation was, well, let's see if there was another option, but the winterizing the bathrooms is not feasible.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's on the list. There is no public, so no public comment.
I have one more
Um,
thing, Mary. I'm so sorry. One more thing. Jacob Henning just sent me a quick email and he said he was listening to the meeting regarding projects that may or may not be approved for Boy Scout or Eagle Scout projects. He said generally the local council guy, Jovan Loon, he has explicitly stated he dislikes things like flag boxes, benches, something like bat boxes, something that would be simple, mass producible items. So, it sounds like, I guess he has in the past approved community gardens, whether it's, an actual garden or maybe some sort of compostable, I don't know. Anyways, but just a little bit of information on that. So if we're suggesting things for Eagle Scout projects, items that are mass producible are less likely to be approved.
Okay. All right, can I make a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
All
Yep.
right, do I have a second?
Yeah.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Night all.
Anytime.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right, bye, guys.